Hey guys, so for years I've had women ask me for help with dealing with the hair falling out or breaking off or an unexplained texture change, and I've never had any personal experience with this until now. And so I wanted to share the story to one, share my hair loss and texture change story with you all, and two, to give you some advice if you happen to be going through this right now or sometime in the future. I'm gonna try not to make this video too long, but there's tons of important information that I need to share with you, so yeah, no promises on that. Okay, so I'm going to start by sharing my personal story, what happened to my health and to my hair. So I started feeling these symptoms of fatigue in 2012 after giving birth to my daughter. I had a few pregnancy complications like preeclampsia, high blood pressure, and my body really never recovered from that. And I didn't really think anything of it. I didn't think that the fatigue was like a big deal. I thought maybe I was just working too hard, or this was just the life of a new mom, and that this was just the way things were gonna be. But I was really, really tired, and so I tried to remedy my fatigue symptoms by changing my eating habits. And I always ate really healthy. It's just that I decided to cut out animal products from my diet and accept a raw vegan lifestyle. And so this meant eating tons of vegetables and tons of fruit that are full of fruit sugars to give you loads of energy, and I felt amazing. It's just that I couldn't keep it up. I stopped eating raw vegan just because it was really expensive and I just really wanted to eat warmed food. As a raw vegan, you're not supposed to cook your food, and that's something that I really missed. And so I transitioned to just a regular vegan lifestyle. And around this time is when I noticed small bumps start to pop up on my face, my chest, my arms. They're all over me and really itchy, but again, I didn't think anything of it. I just thought, hey, I'm coming down with eczema, or I'm just having an acne situation. But it never went away. Sometimes it would flare up and get really itchy, and then other times it would just kind of sit there and be on my face as bumps. But for 2 years, I had that all over my body in varying degrees of uncomfortableness, and it just never fully went away. So, skip to about a year ago, I decided to go to a salon and have my hair colored. And looking back, I remember noticing that my hair wasn't really behaving like it normally did. It would get frizzy sometimes and felt more dry than usual. But again, I didn't think anything of it. It was right after the summer, and I thought maybe my hair was just reacting to seasonal changes. So I went ahead and had the stylist color my hair. She used Olaplex in my hair, which was supposed to be safer for my hair. And although the detangling process was really rough that she did for my hair and it caused a lot of breakage, which I spoke about in the other video, I was really happy with my hair. I loved the way it looked. About 2 or 3 months in is when I started to notice the decline of the health of my hair. It started showing all those signs that I spoke about in my Why Heat and Color Damage Sucks video. Most of the issues were on my colored hair sections, but there were 2 spots at the nape of my neck that were not colored that were showing signs of damage. They were brittle and they weren't accepting moisture like they normally do. And so at that point is when I assumed that I was dealing with color damage as well as heat damage, because those sections weren't colored. So it had to have been heat damage, right? So along with the quick decline of my health, I noticed that my body started shutting down too. My fatigue got much worse. I was always tired. No matter how much sleep I gave myself, it was just never enough. Along with the fatigue, I was extremely moody and very emotional, especially around my menstrual cycle. I couldn't focus on my work. My head felt cloudy and foggy all the time, almost like I was in a state of a hangover every single day. I had constant headaches almost daily. I would sweat very easily, but I always felt really cold. I suffered from depression. No matter how healthy I ate, I kept gaining weight. My body was bloated from my face to my stomach and my legs, and some days were worse than others. I couldn't remember anything ever, from the most simplest tasks to like really important calendar dates. I had heart palpitations, and sometimes my chest would actually physically hurt. I wasn't really eating regularly. My scalp became very dry and itchy, which I never had a problem with that before. And probably something that you guys all noticed, my hair began breaking off and falling out, and the texture just changed. Not on my entire head, but in certain spots the texture just completely changed. And this was on both the colored sections of my hair and the sections of my hair that had no color at all. They both changed texture. And there were other symptoms that I was experiencing as well, but those were probably the ones that affected my day-to-day life the most and made it really hard to function at a normal level. So because of all these symptoms, my work suffered. I wasn't able to get as many videos edited and uploaded as I was before because I couldn't focus. My relationship was strained. I was extremely irritable and had very thin patience with my husband, who is amazing because he supported me throughout all of this. And my hair suffered. The colored sections completely gave out on me to the point that I had to cut them completely off and get rid of them. I also had to cut out some sections that were not colored because the texture had changed. And at that time, I thought I was suffering from heat damage because I couldn't really think of any other reason why the texture would have changed. I didn't color them and I wasn't doing anything to it at that time except diffusing my hair for wash and goes. So I just assumed that it was the diffuser causing the texture change and just thought, okay, well, I must have gotten heat damage. But after cutting those heat damaged sections of hair off, a few months later, the remaining hair began to transform back into that brittle and hard texture without me having used any blow dryers, any heat products at all. And at that point is when I knew that it had to be something that was going on within my body that could be causing that texture change. Okay, so now my body health was declining, my hair health was declining, and I had all these itchy bumps all over my body. So the bumps started to get worse, and at this time is when I was like, okay, I've had enough. I really wanted to and had to figure out what was going on in my body that's causing all of these issues. And I remembered a lot of raw vegans discussing trying to avoid an issue called candida. So candida is another word for yeast infection, and it can be in your gut or it can be vaginal. I did not have vaginal candida, but I did suspect that I might have candida of the gut from eating all those fruits a few years ago when I was on that raw vegan lifestyle and just didn't know it, and it kind of just carried on throughout the years. Essentially, we all have candida in our gut, but if you eat way too much sugar, and for me in this case, it would be too much fruit sugar, it can feed your candida, making it worse. So after learning about candida, I was about 90% sure that it was the cause of not only the itchy rash on my body, but many of the other symptoms, including the fatigue and my hair falling out. So I decided to go on a candida cleanse to naturally get rid of that yeast in my gut. And it's basically cutting out all sugars, including fruit sugars and gluten in your diet. You also have to cut out caffeine because it can affect your adrenal glands, which will make it harder for your body to fight off the candida. Detoxing my body off of sugar, gluten, and caffeine looked like someone detoxing from a drug. I mean, it was waking up in cold sweats, anxiety attacks, strong cravings, headaches. But after about a week and a half of being in this detoxing nightmare, I just woke up one random day and it felt the best that I had felt in years. I was full of energy, I was alert, all of my physical pains were gone, no more headaches, joint pain, the brain fog was gone, the depression was gone. It hasn't come back since. It's been 3 months. My eyes got whiter, my moodiness was completely gone. I was happy and I felt light and fresh and it was amazing. So that was after about a week and a half. After about a month into the candida cleanse, my skin was clearing up, the rash was gone. So then I decided to make an appointment with my doctor and my naturopathic doctor to have some tests done to, 1, figure out if the candida was actually the issue, and just 2, to figure out if there was anything else wrong with me, because the symptoms could really have been a variety of things and I didn't want to leave any stone unturned. My naturopathic doctor is currently in the process of testing. And I don't have all those tests back yet, but I told him my whole story and he's certain that I am suffering from candida and that I definitely do have adrenal fatigue. And if you guys are wondering, everyone has adrenal glands that are in control of regulating their adrenaline. So if you drink a lot of coffee or if you don't get a lot of sleep, your adrenal glands can get really fatigued because they're just really overworked. And that can cause adrenal fatigue, which can affect your thyroid, which affects your entire body. My medical doctor found out that I am suffering from a severe vitamin D deficiency, a gluten sensitivity, and low glucose levels. And all of these issues cause hair loss, fatigue, and the other symptoms that I mentioned before. Luckily, I don't have thyroid issues, so I'm really happy about that. But yeah, there's a lot going on. But as of right now, I'm functioning at a much higher level and I just feel a lot happier. I'm in a lot less physical pain. I'm not as fatigued and I just feel physically and mentally stronger. So I'll be sharing a lot more about my entire health journey, like what supplements I'm taking, what I've been eating on my Whitney White channel. And if you guys didn't know, I do have a third channel that's self-titled where I pretty much share anything that I want that's not hair related. And I'll add a link to that in the description box if you guys want to head over there and check out that channel. Subscribe. I'm going to have a lot more about just what I'm eating and like my lifestyle now, because it's kind of different. But as of right now, I am feeling extremely good, really happy, and just grateful to have caught it at the stage that I did, where I can actually fix what's going on. But I wanted to use this opportunity to turn my situation into something that can hopefully help some of you guys out there who may be going through something similar, and maybe you don't even know it's happening. I personally didn't know until that rash and the kidney infection hit me, so it's something that can kind of sneak up on you if you're not really paying attention to your symptoms. So because this is a hair channel, I'm going to give you my advice as it relates to your hair care. So the first thing is, if you're thinking about getting your hair colored, I suggest that you make an appointment with your doctor first. You guys are like, what? What does my doctor have to do with my hair? But as you can see from my own story, it's really important that you have tests done to make sure that your body's even healthy enough to even accept the color treatment. And this also goes for relaxers, texturizers, keratin treatments, really any type of chemical treatment that you're putting on your hair. You basically want to make sure that your body is balanced and getting all the nutrients that you need before starting a chemical process, because it's just going to take even more out of your hair. And if you think about it, our body health might be what differentiates those of us who have a positive coloring or texturizer relaxer experience and those of us who have a negative coloring experience. Obviously, the color application matters as well, but if you're doing everything right and your hair still falls apart, it's probably your body health. And with vitamin D deficiencies in particular, it's important to know that Black people suffer from it the most. And a lot of Black people are currently suffering from vitamin D deficiencies and they don't even know it. The darker our skin is, the more melanin that's in our skin, the harder it is to accept that natural vitamin D from the sun. And so you become deficient. So a lot of you guys watching this might have a vitamin D deficiency without knowing it. So you definitely want to have that checked out. If you have a vitamin D deficiency, your body will begin shutting down, your hair will start to break off and fall out. It could change the texture of your hair suddenly and without warning, even if you haven't done anything special to it, no heat or color or anything like that. It can just change the texture of your hair. Or it can just affect the growing potential of your hair. If you're somebody who finds that your hair is not growing to its fullest potential, and why does my hair always break off at a certain point, or why can't I get it to grow any longer than this? Check your nutrient levels. It might be that you are deficient in something. Okay, so if you have noticed your hair breaking off or falling out or the texture change, it could be a myriad of things. It could be anything from a nutrient deficiency, it could be candida, it could be a thyroid issue, could be celiac disease or a gluten sensitivity, alopecia, poor nutrition, not getting enough protein, adrenal fatigue causes your hair to fall out, or even parasites. That last one made you cringe a little, right? Okay, so I'm not going to go into parasites too much, but I will say that if you're a mammal on this earth and you're warm-blooded, you have parasites, and it's not just for cats and dogs. Humans also have parasites. And just like you would want to get those parasites removed from your cat and dog, you want to get them removed from your own body as well, because parasites leach nutrients from your body, important nutrients that you need to keep your body healthy. So when I was doing my candida detox, part of it was to drink a detox drink of like apple cider vinegar, lemon, and water, and I saw 4 parasites. So look, it's really disgusting, but we all have parasites. If you have a pet, you have a parasite just from petting them or letting them lick your face or cleaning out their litter or picking up their poo. If you eat sushi, a lot of people live with parasites their whole life, not even realizing it. And that's something that I learned just from doing research into trying to figure out what was wrong with me. I have a parasite cleanse kit that I purchased, and I'm planning on taking that soon. It's just there's been so much going on in my life that I haven't had time to just kind of have a week to take it, but I am planning on taking that. If you guys are interested in hearing about that experience, just let me know in the comments below, and I'll probably put that on my self-titled Whitney White channel. But for those of you who are curious right now, I'm also going to put some links in the description box regarding parasite cleanse. I think it's really important that you guys check that out, because parasites are no bueno. Like, they just take all your nutrients and leave nothing for you. So check that out. And lastly, I want to leave you with some symptoms that you should be looking out for in your own body that may be telling of a deficiency or illness that you may not know that you have. If you do have any of the following symptoms, and especially if they're accompanied by any hair issues, then you definitely want to go to your doctors and have them test you to figure out what's going on. So chronic fatigue, brain fog, hair loss or texture change, irritability, a dry, itchy scalp, unexplained weight gain or bloating or unexplained weight loss, headaches or migraine, an irregular menstrual cycle, muscle or joint pain, constant sweating, especially in your head, a loss of appetite, a loss of focus, poor memory if you're really emotional or if you're having like really bad PMS, heart palpitations or an irregular heartbeat or pain in your chest, if you're feeling really hot or really cold, if you're experiencing brittle hair or brittle nails, if you have shaky or trembly hands, if you're experiencing trouble sleeping, or if you have like a caffeine intolerance, if you can drink a ton of caffeine and it does not affect you. So I'm not trying to scare you, I really just want to help you. And I pretty much had every single one of those symptoms thinking that it was just normal to live that way, and it's not. Many of us function daily at way below optimum levels thinking that it's normal. And you can feel so much better. Your hair can grow better if you're functioning at optimum levels. Okay, so I know that was a ton of information. I do hope that you were able to stay till the end because it's really important, not just for the health of your hair, but your body as a whole and your relationships. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I really hope that it was informative and that it helped. And I'll see you in the next one. If you missed my last video, we made a DIY healing African black soap shampoo to get that scalp stimulated and clear off any bacteria or fungus that might be there and get your hair growing to optimum levels. If you want to check that out, you click the link on top. And if you guys are into daily vlogs, I was on The Reel last week and it was the craziest experience ever, and you guys sent me the most amazing messages via social media, and I just want to say thank you guys, first of all, for the amazing support and just the sweetest comments ever that I've probably read on the internet. Like, you guys are amazing. So thank you guys so much. If you guys want to check out all the behind the scenes, I was able to take a little bit of footage. It was kind of a crazy week, but you can check that out by clicking the link below, and I will see you in the next one.